An intelligent man is sometimes forced to be drunk to spend time with his fools. So far, about morals, I know only that what is moral is what you feel good after, and what is immoral is what you feel bad after. No, that is the great fallacy, the wisdom of old men. They do not grow wise. They grow careful. As you get older, it is harder to have heroes, but it is sort of necessary. Once we have a war, there is only one thing to do. It must be won. For defeat brings worse things than any that can ever happen in war. A cat has absolute emotional honesty. Human beings, for one reason or another, may hide their feelings, but a cat does not. If you are lucky enough to have lived in Paris as a young man, then wherever you go for the rest of your life it stays with you, for Paris is a movable feast. The only thing that could spoil a day was people. People were always the limiters of happiness, except for the very few that were as good as spring itself. All good books have one thing in common: they are truer than if they had really happened. The world is a fine place, and worth the fighting for, and I hate very much to leave it. The first and final thing you have to do in this world is to last it and not be smashed by it. It's none of their business that you have to learn how to write. Let them think you were born that way. You can't get away from yourself by moving from one place to another. Cowardice is almost always simply a lack of ability to suspend functioning of the imagination. Always do sober what you said you'd do drunk. That will teach you to keep your mouth shut. The most painful thing is losing yourself in the process of loving someone too much, and forgetting that you are special too. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at the broken places. My aim is to put down on paper what I see and what I feel, in the best and simplest way. Forget your personal tragedy. We are all bitched from the start, and you especially have to be hurt like hell before you can write seriously. All you have to do is write one true sentence. Write the truest sentence that you know. In order to write about life, first you must live it. There is nothing to writing. All you do is sit down at a typewriter and bleed. Worry a little bit every day, and in a lifetime you will lose a couple of years. If something is wrong, fix it if you can. But train yourself not to worry. Worry never fixes anything. Every man's life ends the same way. It is only the details of how he lived and how he died that distinguish one man from another. It is good to have an end to journey toward, but it is the journey that matters, in the end. Never think that war, no matter how necessary, nor how justified, is not a crime. Every day is a new day. It is better to be lucky, but I would rather be exact. Then when luck comes you are ready. I love sleep. My life has the tendency to fall apart when I'm awake, you know? The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. Happiness in intelligent people is the rarest thing I know. Now is no time to think of what you do not have. Think of what you can do with what there is. I like to listen. I have learned a great deal from listening carefully. When people talk, listen completely. Most people never listen. Never go on trips with anyone you do not love. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. There is no rule on how to write. Sometimes it comes easily and perfectly. Sometimes it's like drilling rock and then blasting it out with charges. All modern American literature comes from one book by Mark Twain, called Huckleberry Finn. If a writer knows enough about what he is writing about, he may omit things that he knows. The dignity of movement of an iceberg is due to only 1/9 of it being above water. Madam, all stories, if continued far enough, end in death, and he is no true storyteller who would keep that from you. I wake up in the morning, and my mind starts making sentences, and I have to get rid of them fast, talk them or write them down. To be a successful father, there's one absolute rule: when you have a kid, don't look at it for the first 2 years. Once we have a war, there is only one thing to do. It must be won. For defeat brings worse things than any that can ever happen in war. What is moral is what you feel good after, and what is immoral is what you feel bad after. I love to go to the zoo, but not on Sunday. I don't like to see the people making fun of the animals, when it should be the other way around. The only thing that could spoil a day was people. People were always the limiters of happiness, except for the very few that were as good as spring itself. If you have a success, you have it for the wrong reasons. If you become popular, it is always because of the worst aspects of your work. For a long time now, I have tried simply to write the best I can. Sometimes I have good luck and write better than I can. There is no lonelier man in death, except the suicide, than that man who has lived many years with a good wife and then outlived her. If two people love each other, there can be no happy end to it. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, Some are strong at the broken places,